It's hard to believe how much time has passed since the Munsters first graced our screens in 1964. A show that blended spooky charm with classic sitcom humor, it became an instant favorite, cementing its place in television history. But behind the beloved characters, the real-life stories of its stars took dramatic turns. Some met with tragedy, others with unexpected twists. Fred Gwynne, who played the towering, lovable Herman Munster, brought warmth and humor to a character inspired by Frankenstein's monster. But while Herman lived on in reruns, Gwynne's own journey was filled with highs and heartbreaking lows. Born in 1926, he had a diverse career that extended far beyond the Munsters, including an unforgettable role as Judge Chamberlain Haller in My Cousin Vinny. But despite his talent, Gwynne was often typecast because of his iconic portrayal of Herman. Tragically, he passed away in 1993 at the age of 66, leaving behind a legacy that still resonates today. And then there was Al Lewis, the unforgettable Grandpa Munster. His eccentric, wisecracking vampire character was a scene-stealer, bringing a perfect balance of mischief and heart to the show. But beyond his on-screen persona, Lewis was a force of nature in real life. A political activist, he even ran for governor of New York in 1998. He lived to see the Munsters become a cult classic, but in 2006, at the age of 82, he took his final bow. Yet, his impact on pop culture endures. Butch Patrick, the spirited child star who played Eddie Munster, had a different kind of journey. As a young werewolf in the Munster family, he embodied childhood innocence, albeit with fangs and pointy ears. But transitioning out of a child star role wasn't easy. While he continued acting in various projects, including Lidsville and My Three Sons, he struggled with the challenges of being forever linked to his famous character. Over time, he embraced his cult status, appearing at conventions and even forming a rock band. Today, at 71, Patrick remains dedicated to preserving the legacy of the show that made him famous. And then, there's the mysterious Marilyn Munster, the so-called odd one out of the family. Despite being the only one who looked normal, the role was initially played by Beverly Owen, but after just 13 episodes, she stepped away from Hollywood, choosing marriage over fame. Her replacement, Pat Priest, carried the role forward and became a fan favorite. Though Priest continued acting in smaller roles, she eventually left the entertainment industry, focusing on real estate. Now 88, she remains a beloved figure in classic TV nostalgia. Beverly Owen's story took a bittersweet turn. While her departure from the Munsters was by choice, her later years were marked by a quieter life, far from the spotlight. Sadly, in 2019, she passed away at the age of 81, leaving behind memories of her brief but impactful role in television history. Even minor characters in the Munsters have their own fascinating legacies. Chet Stratton, who played businessman Clyde Thornton, had a diverse career in film, television, and even Broadway before his passing in 1970. Edward Mallory, remembered for his guest role, became a staple in soap operas, starring in Days of Our Lives before moving on to directing and teaching. Harvey Korman, who made a brief appearance as Dr. Lindbeck, went on to become a legendary comedian on The Carol Burnett Show, earning multiple awards before his passing in 2008. So many of these actors left an indelible mark on television, their work continuing to be celebrated by fans decades later. But while their characters remain immortalized on screen, their real lives were filled with unexpected turns, personal struggles, and incredible achievements. And one shocking revelation about the Munsters' cast still remains, something that will change the way you see the show forever. Decades may have passed, but the legacy of these Hollywood icons remains just as powerful today. From comedy legends to horror classics, their impact continues to shape the entertainment industry even long after their time in the spotlight. But behind the laughter and the on-screen magic, many of these stars faced struggles, heartbreaking losses, and untold secrets that only came to light years later. Paul Lynde, the unforgettable wit behind Dr. Edward Dudley in The Munsters and the beloved Uncle Arthur in Bewitched, had the world laughing Yet his personal life was far from lighthearted. Known for his sharp humor and flamboyant personality, Lind became a fan favorite on Hollywood squares, where his razor-sharp one-liners made television history. But beneath the spotlight, he battled personal demons, and his unexpected passing at just 55 left fans shocked. Was it the pressures of fame, the industry's hidden toll? His sudden departure remains a stark reminder that even the brightest stars can struggle behind the scenes. And then there's the enigmatic Yvonne De Carlo, who transformed from a Hollywood bombshell into the eerie yet elegant Lily Munster. With a career spanning from biblical epics like The Ten Commandments to Broadway stages, De Carlo was the epitome of versatility. But despite her achievements, she found herself typecast, forever linked to her Gothic matriarch role. As the industry evolved, work became scarce, and financial struggles loomed. The once glamorous star, who had graced the silver screen with legends, faced the harsh reality of Hollywood's fleeting nature. Her passing in 2007 at 84 marked the end of an era, but her legacy as one of television's most beloved characters endures. John Fiedler, the gentle voice behind Disney's Piglet and a familiar face in The Twilight Zone and Star Trek, had a career spanning decades. But despite his success, he largely remained in the shadows, never quite reaching leading man status. Yet, his voice became immortal. For over 30 years, he brought warmth and innocence to one of Disney's most cherished characters. His passing in 2005 was a quiet goodbye to a performer who had touched generations with a single, unmistakable voice. Then there's Jane Withers, the child star who rivaled Shirley Temple in Hollywood's golden age. Her vivacious personality made her a household name, but as she grew older, the industry had little space for her. Reinventing herself, she became the face of household commercials and a beloved voice in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. A career of reinvention, a life filled with ups and downs. Withers' journey was nothing short of extraordinary. She lived to 95, leaving behind a legacy that stretched from silver screen classics to the animation generations cherish today. Val Avery, the tough guy actor who brought intensity to The Magnificent Seven and Cool Hand Luke, was a staple of crime dramas and westerns. But despite his extensive filmography, he remained one of Hollywood's most underappreciated talents. His roles were brief but impactful, always leaving an impression. When he passed in 2009 at 85, he left behind a staggering legacy, a reminder of the many unsung heroes of Hollywood's golden years. And who could forget John Carradine, the master of macabre who ruled classic horror? With over 300 credits to his name, his deep voice and haunting presence made him a legend. But even legends face struggles. Financial difficulties plagued his later years, forcing him to take roles in low-budget horror films just to stay afloat. Despite this, his legacy lived on through his sons, ensuring the Carradine name remained embedded in Hollywood history. When he passed in 1988, the industry lost one of its most iconic villains. But his chilling performances still send shivers down spines today. These actors, their stories, their struggles, it all serves as a reminder of Hollywood's double-edged nature. Fame is fleeting. Success can turn to hardship in an instant, and the brightest stars sometimes battle the darkest demons. But their contributions to film and television remain, standing the test of time. Which of these Hollywood stories surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into entertainment's most fascinating figures. See you in the next one.